a lot of times what I picked up, one of the ways you got through buds and the Navy SEAL and things is you chose to make it harder, not easier. I mean, was that the way you got through a lot of times, the with the boats and all that? You said, I want the hardest part of this job. I don't want the easiest. And I'll have to admit this, I always choose the easiest. And that's one of my big downfalls.
Well, for me, the reason why I did that is I realized that I wanted to also choose the easiest. And this is the mindset behind me. If I'm going to go through the hardest training, I want the hardest spot in the worst position in the hardest training in the world. Because what that does is, if my mindset is going to the hardest place,
I saw myself as a very weak individual, and I wanted to overcome myself. And once I started reaching these different hurdles, I realized that we all had this superhuman potential. Now at 43 years old, I believe in being a leader. And there's a lot of times, like there's no need for me to get up in the morning time and go out for these long runs. I've done it all. I'm good. I'm retired from the military, did 21 years in the military. I've done it all. Now it's about setting the example for others to follow. Being a leader is sometimes the worst job in the world because you have to put yourself in some of the most uncomfortable situations of all time.
Like in Hell Week, when you're carrying the boat, the toughest spot to be in is the number one spot. It's the heaviest part of the boat, and I never left that position because the more your mind searches for a comfort, any kind of comfort, it will continue wanting to find more and more of it. But the way I train my mind is I want to find the hardest location known to man. And then my mind continues to go that way versus the other way. Because once you start giving yourself a way out, oh, you know what, I'm going to run 5 miles today. I'm going to run 4 miles. For me, it's like, no, I'm going to go the opposite way. So my mind continued to get harder and harder and harder because I knew the second I gave it a way out, it was going to take it. And I also wanted to choose the hardest way because it was my way of motivating people. So how I motivate people is I was a boat crew leader going through all my Hell Weeks. And how I motivate people is give me the suckiest mother thing on the planet Earth and watch me excel. Watch me excel.
For me to tell you to do something and I'm not doing it myself, that's what motivates me now. That's what keeps me going now is that I have to continue to set the example. I can't talk it, I have to live it. I believe that I can't talk about what I used to be. I used to be this guy that broke pull-up records. I used to be this guy that ran 100 miles, ran 200 miles. I have to still be that guy. And then when I'm not that guy anymore, I shut up talking about it. It's not me anymore.
I won't say a word to you, but when you see me broke down, stuck, legs broken, and I go back to the number one spot on that fucking boat, it's the heaviest thing known to man, you're going to look at me and say, Roger that. Let me follow this guy. So I do shit by example. I do the hardest shit so the people following me say, yeah, that's where I want to be behind that mother right there.
I tell you what, man, I am, I don't know what to say. I just thank you for saying what you're saying because I need to hear it.